Hey there, how are you?
Um, mm, I'm alright. Can you pick me up at the island? I can swim over to the other place. I don't have a way to get into the
Oh,
city.
yes. Yes. I can do that. Yes.
Thank you.
I just have to remember specifically which island it is. I know which one it is.
But
I'm
what's
just
what's your ping?
it's 422, but I'm pretty sure I know what it is. I've been there, like I was there like just the other day. I know where it is. I just give me a quick reminder.
Yeah.
Let me
All
let me
right.
just verify. Let me verify before you go. Let me verify.
All right.
It was not the place I was thinking. Anyway, I
Uh, I'm
I
I'm gonna walk over to that cliff so you don't have to like come to the island to find me. You just have to go to that cliff by the island. You
all
know.
right. Okay. I'm sure I'll stumble my way there.
Yeah. Well, you should
Yeah.
bring your car.
I am. I mean, yes,
Okay.
definitely. I'm bringing my
Don't
car.
don't just
I'm not gonna
stumble.
walk there. Yeah,
It's
I'm gonna walk
just
there and
words.
pick you up and carry you on my shoulders.
Yeah.
Anyway, I will be there soon.
All right.
All
Bye.
right. Bye bye.
Hi.
Hello. There he is.
Holes dug.
I imagine that it is quite dug.
Yeah.
Uh, Probably head over there before. I mean, before long.
Hmm.
Like maybe I don't know. Well, maybe
Uh,
tomorrow.
yeah. I'm kind of tired of being there. If I'm
Yeah,
telling the
yeah,
truth.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me see
Uh,
here.
so Ember not talking to me isn't because I'm in trouble or anything, and I don't know about it. Is
No, it's this is a her thing. She's it's. I mean, did you read my text?
yeah.
Yeah. Well, she's on a psychological evaluation, and it's. I mean, I don't really fully know what exactly she's trying to do, but I mean, it's uh like she's got a lot of issues, obviously,
My
uh, to be
my
worked
last
out, but
text from her is I'm a bit injured at the moment, so I cannot help you dig at this moment. Need to rest now. That's the last I heard from her 5 days
right,
ago.
okay, so I guess geez, you've been gone for a while.
I have been, and I
You
probably
have
won't
been
be
gone
here.
for a
I
while.
probably won't be around tomorrow because I just need a break. I need to sleep. I've been digging and
Yeah,
building,
yeah,
and
yeah.
and then the one day I took a break from digging and building, um, I ran into JoJo, and then
Oh, nice.
I also was not allowed to speak to Ember, and so I talked to Logan, and I talked to Mike Garcia, and I talked to Lolly,
Hmm.
and I'm just
That brings about
and
lots of
and
reasons.
I still haven't been able to talk to Eliza, who brought out the sword of Damocles on me. Um, she said, "Tad, I should apologize, as I would not wish to cause you any grief by any means. If my words were blunt in a manner that made you feel unwelcome, I am truly sorry," which is not an apology. It's hey, if I hurt your feelings, I'm sorry, but I still meant it, you know. And then to wit, the sword of Damocles hangs over my head, so I will be given to caution in regards to who I share my time with, as not to expand the orbit of the shadows I am consumed by.
I mean, that sounds like something Eliza would say.
Yeah,
But like, you know, it is. I think that just
it's
she's. It sounds more like she's just otherwise unavailable
yeah, it
at this
just
juncture.
well, the sword of Damocles thing. You know what that is, right?
I mean, I've heard the term, but you know,
Okay,
I
so
guess.
Damocles was I don't know if he was a king or an emperor or what, but he was in power,
Yeah.
and there were all these threats around him.
Hmm.
So the sword of Damocles is basically just saying, she's in a position of power and there are threats everywhere, and so she has to. So I don't know what's happening at New Babylon, because last I
You
heard she
know.
was not in a position of power there. So unless
Well,
she's just not understanding how the term is used, which is possible as well. A lot of people with big vocabularies don't know how to use their words.
I feel like of all the people that would use that term, she would know the meaning.
Yeah, me too.
So I mean, yeah, I think that she's just dealing with a lot right now, and
And she doesn't want
anybody
to
who
talk
might be
to.
perceived as a threat is probably a
Yeah, I
threat.
don't. I'm still not sure exactly how the threat. I guess because you're in control of me, but
I mean,
you haven't shown yourself to be threatening to her, have you? Aside
no.
from just being who you are.
I mean, I haven't, but I mean, I suppose that depends on, like, like
I'm just tired of my
how
friends
she
not talking to me.
perceives me through you.
Yeah. Anyway, I can't
You know?
talk to her because I just get these texts days later.
Oh, well.
I responded to her. I said, "I don't consume you. I'm not a shadow. I'm a friend. I'm also not someone who cares about what power you do or do not have, unless it's over me, oh great Damocles." I guess I was a little bit facetious there, but friends can be facetious with each other.
Yeah.
I
It's
don't even
just.
know if she considers me a friend, so. Uh,
Yeah,
I
well.
I went through the overwhelming sadness, and now I'm just a little annoyed. And I think by a little annoyed, I mean I'm still pretty sad, but I'm angry now too. Why we stopped here?
Oh, I mean, I don't know. Just figured.
Just wanted to look into the anti-communist camp or anti-capitalist camp.
Oh shit.
Over
I
there.
didn't even. I mean, I was actually just kind of looking at the moon, but
Oh, yeah, it's pretty nice.
yeah, that is pretty nice. We can
Anyway.
keep moving, I guess. We don't have to actually stand somewhere. We could actually have this be stationary. For a change. I don't actually know how long I'm gonna be about. I'm just, you know, kind of vibing a bit today.
And my head's a little sore. You know that the only two people I've talked to in person for like the past since I saw you last are JoJo and Jerry. So
Jerry.
yeah, he's the contractor I had come out to.
Oh, right.
Look at the hole. He's like this old guy. He sucks his teeth a lot. You know that.
Oh, right, of course. Yeah. Yep. I've seen them. I've seen the. There's always a Jerry.
Yeah.
Well, I mean.
Thank you for
I
not
hope he
hitting
liked
that
your
deer.
hole. I hope. Yeah. You're welcome. I hope that he liked your hole.
Well, he thought we were gonna store some potatoes and wine in there. So,
Okay, well that's good to know, because you know I wasn't sure if I had to like make Jerry disappear.
luckily he didn't understand. He wasn't like super close to my grandma in the end days of her end days. So he was still paying his dues and stuff like that, but he apparently wasn't close enough to her to ever hear her complain about me not liking potatoes.
Oh. Well, that's a relief, you know. This is a boon for you, you know.
Yeah. But now I might get like 20 pounds of potatoes sent to me every month by Jerry.
Did your grandma like tell everybody that she ever knew that you didn't like potatoes?
No, just the people she was close to when she was complaining about me. It's usually, truthfully, it's the people who knew what she was doing to me that she would even bother complaining to, because it wasn't always working out to how she wanted it to work out. And I was difficult. I was difficult. I don't have any food. Do you have any food?
Oh yeah, I guess you probably should stop. You probably should. Actually, wait. Let me. Do I have food? Yeah, I do have food. Let's see here. All right, glove box.
Thank you.
So.
God. No, wait. I did see Signy in person. Signy and I tried to talk, and we were both having problems with our throats and our ears. Like, one of us would have something caught in our throat, and then the other one of us would have like dust in our ears, and so we had to keep unclogging ourselves, and it just wasn't any fun.
Yeah. I mean, that's crazy. You know, that's like a both caught like a, I don't know.
It was
same
kind
sickness at once.
It was kind of okay because I couldn't really talk to her about what I've been doing.
Yeah.
And it's just like
I've
asking
just
her
been,
what she's
digging a
doing.
hole, you know.
Just having fun digging a hole.
Yeah, just digging a hole for like a week.
Yeah.
Dig a hole. Okay, just to kind of, I guess, to explain some of what's been going on here regarding Ember.
All right.
She
She's just taking me by New Babylon just in case Eliza's outside and I can think about how she's not talking to me again.
Not even intentional, but, you know, I mean, it could have been possible if we'd seen her. You know, we could have just been like, hey, what's going on, you know?
And then she'd think we're probably trying to kidnap her.
I don't know, maybe we are.
No. Please don't.
I'm not gonna kidnap her unless she gives me reason to. Okay. Stay on target. Stay on target.
Just please make it so hurt my feelings is not reason to kidnap her. Okay.
Okay.
If she stabs me or something, then we can talk again. But
Right. Okay. I'll take note of that. Okay. So I have a plan regarding Joanna, and I told Ember this. But Ember decided to kind of just go and meet with Joanna all on her own, with nobody with her. She went to, well, yeah, she went to, I think, the hot springs or whatever the hell it was, on Gordo, because I guess Joanna was gonna come out there. I don't know, I can't remember all the particulars about it. But all things being equal, apparently Joshua showed up and said something to her and then walked away, like, randomly. So, you know, obviously Joanna had folks, you know, watching the area, but I don't think Joanna ever actually showed. Though I guess her bike was found in the area. But at any rate, she, was later met by Sneaky and Wendy. I don't fully remember how they got there. I'm guessing Ember called them out there. So I don't think it was related to the Joshua shit.
Alright.
But, like, Joshua essentially threatened her before he walked away. You know, he, of course, didn't do anything, so, you know. But, all I know is that, like, her and Sneaky and Wendy had, like, a very long conversation. And it ended with, I guess, Sneaky putting a bullet in her back. Yeah. And, he, it was in a location to where the bullet was not technically going to kill her or cause her life-threatening injuries, because, you know, I mean, I guess, you know, precision with shooting a bullet is key in some professions. But at any rate, he basically told her to keep the bullet in her back until she left the Smileys. And
So just tell her to remove the bullet.
so about that, we had a conversation, her and I.
Alright.
I very much could have her do that. I still might have her do that. Like, I'm still very much of the opinion that I am probably going to have her do that. But I just wanna.
But you're punishing her by making her take her own punishment.
Well, I'm not punishing her by making her take her own punishment. I'm not actually punishing her at all. She's punishing herself. But
You're just letting her punish herself.
she was very much of the opinion that she wanted to keep it in her back, and she wanted to quote-unquote change. She wanted to go on what is essentially a path to prove herself to Sneaky, and by extension the clowns, that she you know, is changing, that she is doing better, that she isn't, you know, what they think that she is, or whatever, some shit like that.
Well, she's definitely changed, Ken. She changed because she's brainwashed now. She is not who she was. So she can easily say that without a bullet in her back.
Right. But, you know, she, hold on.
But she's just not who they want her to be.
Right, and I basically said, I told her that.
Which, by the way, who they want her to be is not Ember. They want a changed Ember. They don't want Ember back. They want
Well, right.
the Ember that they want, which is not how she's ever been.
Right.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
Actually, I honestly feel like I can hear you better than ever.
All right.
But okay, I guess there's a nice race going on or something. I don't know.
Maybe it's a night race. Is it nighttime? I can't tell. It's dark,
it is nighttime.
but maybe it's just.
It's also
'cause of the
raining.
Raining, yeah.
So I told her basically that you can keep the bullet in your back, but you're only going to keep the bullet in your back for yourself, for you, not for him, not for any of them. And I said, and I quote, "Don't do it for him, do it for you or no one at all." Which, implies that if you're not doing it for yourself, then take the fucking bullet out. I guess she kind of took that as, keep the bullet in.
Well,
maybe she is doing it for herself. I mean...
No. She is doing it so that they will give her what she wants, which is their company. So she's doing it for them, but she's hoping the results will be what she wants, but it might not be.
Yeah, I mean, this is all, theoreticals that she's working with here. She's getting shot in the back by a friend, right? A friend, right? Sneaky is supposed to be her friend, right?
Yeah,
and he shoots her in the back. And I mean, I guess I can't speak for how clowns treat each other. Like she kind of rationalizes, oh, well, we always hurt each other. We always did it all the time. I used to do it to them too. And I'm just like, okay, but a bullet can kill you,
Also, this isn't funny, haha, hurt. This is, here, torture yourself a little bit until you are who we want you to be. That's not funny, haha. That's not funny.
Yeah.
They hurt each other in a funny way, right? That's what they're supposed to do. They're clowns.
Yeah, I guess.
That's why they were having so many problems when Jagger came out and started hurting them in a non-funny way.
I mean, yeah. I don't think they've been hurting people in a funny way in a very, very long time. But, I could be mistaken about that. At any rate, she then proceeded to, like, her and I were spending the day together, just her and I. We were just I was mostly kind of keeping an eye on her, just to kind of make sure she didn't do anything fucking stupid. And, it was a fine day. It was just kind of like a father-daughter bonding day. We went over to, while you were working on the hole, we went over to the island and, we were checking the progress. You were very busy, so we didn't want to bother you. And we just kind of were chilling and relaxing by the fire. I mean, she's taking prescription oxycodone currently, for the pain, because she's experiencing a lot of pain.
Well, a bullet in the back will do that.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to mention this part. So Stacy is very much aware of it. She's very much aware of the bullet because she's a doctor. Of course she's aware of the bullet. She was asked by Ember to not remove the bullet, and she complied. So, Stacy, I called Stacy later, and I said, okay, what are the ethics of that decision? And she said that since the bullet was in a place where it wasn't life-threatening, and if the patient says, hey, I don't want to remove it, I am bound to, listen to their wishes.
Yeah. I mean, that's true, but...
But that being said, and I didn't bring this up on the phone call, but I probably should have. Okay, sure, it's not life-threatening right now.
We'll just wait for the infection, or
not even that.
It moving.
It moving.
Wait for it to paralyze her.
Yeah. So will you then remove it after she's paralyzed? Okay.
I just think. I think if Ember is on psychiatric hold, That means she is not in her right mind currently. And she should have somebody making her medical decisions for her. That's what it is, right? Power of attorney when you're not in your right mind.
So I think
You're
she's
not
there. She's
capable
there
of making
voluntarily.
decisions.
She's voluntarily on this hold. It's not like I don't think that it was a we'll put you on this hold because we think you're crazy. It's she did it to herself. So she could actually leave at any time. It's her choice.
So why can't she just hang out at Parsons where she's not locked up? Is that because she doesn't want to see us? Because she wouldn't see me the other day? I just wanted to say hi and find out why my sister was in prison, because last I heard she was hurt. I went to the hospital and only Dr. Payne was there. He couldn't help me. And then later on I was going by the prison and I thought, well, maybe she's there because, you know, it's Ember. So I went and checked and there she was. But she wouldn't see me. She wouldn't come see me. And so
I'm of the opinion that she doesn't really want to see me either, but she kind of has to. Because she called me, and she had a very hard time using the word prison when I asked, you know, where she was. It's like she couldn't say it.
How were you able to see her?
Said it.
Because I went in there, and I called for her. And I guess she was with a shrink or something. And Mike Garcia showed up instead of Ember.
I went to the thing, to the counter, and, you know, sent the little ping back there.
Well, you had a much different experience than I did. Which is funny because I think out of the two of us, if she's trying to get help, I'd be the person that she should probably rather see than you. As far as like what I think she's doing, which is trying to break the ties to you so she can leave the Smileys and be a clown and make her clown family happy so she can remove the bullet from her back and hang out with the clowns who will not hang out with her. Yeah. Even if she does all that. Like maybe Sneaky will. Maybe Chatterbox will. Maybe. But
I mean, yeah.
Maybe Kirk will, but Kirk already will. He'll do it to try to screw her, but, you know.
And, I mean, it's just... I take this almost as an act of rebellion, but she's doing it in such a way to where she's not rebelling in the sense that she's rebelling like Ian rebelled. She's rebelling kind of in a way that she's still following, I guess, the directives and the orders that I give her. But whether or not she interprets those directives and orders in the correct way is up for debate.
She's just hurting herself.
Right, but I mean, I think that it's mostly to do with just the fact that Sneaky has gotten into her head, and literally, figuratively, and in her back, and she's feeling like now she has to punish herself, and I think she's also filled with guilt. Actually, one of the reasons why she's going through this, and she told me this, it's not necessarily even specifically speaking because she's trying to get away from us. It's also because she's trying to train herself in such a way to not have to rely on Charlie.
Yeah.
She's trying to face her demons on her own without Charlie.
Well, I do like Ember a lot more than Charlie, but I think she needs to focus on integrating Charlie instead of thinking of Charlie as her twin, a separate person, you know?
Here's the thing, I'm not even against her getting therapy. I'm just against her...
But what are they focusing on?
I don't know. I have no idea.
To me...
I mean, I'll tell you what they're going to focus on. They're going to focus on the bad Mr. Smiley. That's what they're gonna focus on. They're not gonna
Yeah.
focus on anything else but that.
No, yeah. If I were Ember right now with a bullet in my back that I couldn't remove until I left the Smileys, I'd be focusing on that instead of figuring out how to handle things without Charlie. And granted, she is apparently being Ember, because Charlie wouldn't have been scared to see me.
Well, yeah, she's definitely been Ember. She's been every time I've talked to her, she's been Ember. Like she told me that she doesn't want to rely on Ember and that, or not Ember, on Charlie. And she and Charlie had like a talk, and it was I guess just I think it was agreed upon that Ember wanted to take the brunt of all the emotional turmoil that was to come.
You know what the problem is there, okay?
What's that?
Charlie has the smart part. Charlie is calm and composed and just wants to hurt people, so she's also the mean part. But she's calm enough that she thinks about things. Whereas Ember, she'll think about things, but only if you make her. Otherwise, she's going to do the thing that's impulsive.
By the way, when I spoke to her, I told her to talk to Tad.
Yeah, well, she hasn't yet, but I guess I wasn't around for yesterday. I was in
Also said, get your therapy and then get out. I don't know if she's heeded that or not. I mean, as far as I know, maybe she's out. But
should we go check?
I mean, I guess we could. But, I don't really, like, let's see here. Like, where the fuck's it? Okay, it's that way. Might as well, it wouldn't hurt to check. But I think yesterday was her last day on the hold. Because technically speaking, these holds, like, I don't think they actually exist. And it's also because, if you do a hold, you have to do it at the prison. And the prison is not necessarily a place you want to be for a psychological hold. Because, you're there. She was talking yesterday about some folks that might want to hurt, might want to hurt her. And I'm just like, well, that's great, You're putting yourself in a place that, is not necessary. I mean, it's not necessary. I can't say that it's safe out here, but, you're in the lion's den,
I thought about trying to get arrested the other day so I could actually see her and make her talk to me. But making her talk to me felt bad. And also, I didn't know if me, myself, could do anything that would actually get the cops' attention. Because I'm still not going to hurt someone. So I'm going to just go, like, break into cash registers and speed, Just break into cash registers and speed. That's what I'm going to do. What?
Tad, go and kidnap Eliza from New Babylon. That was a joke.
Please don't joke like that. I have to follow your orders.
Yeah.
I have to follow your orders.
Hey, that's certainly a way to get arrested.
Can you please say Can you say it is a joke to go kidnap Eliza? Do not do it. Can you tell me not to go kidnap Eliza now, please?
Do not go. Okay. Tad, do not go and kidnap Eliza. I rescind that order.
Thank you.
Yeah. There you go. I mean, it would be a way to get you thrown into prison, maybe.
Yeah, except I wouldn't be able to do it with violence at all. So I'd probably just fail the kidnapping.
What's it called? You could do what is that called? What is that charge? It's not kidnapping, but
unlawful imprisonment.
Unlawful imprisonment. Where she comes with you willingly, and then you won't let her, leave.
And then won't let her leave. Sure.
certainly had that charge a few times.
Well, I bet you did.
Yeah. All things being equal, it doesn't matter what treatments did they give her. If they're treating the wrong shit, which is me, that's not going to do any good for her.
Well, because they can't. Like they can't break your hold. Like
which is why I also told her that, hey, get therapy to be a better Smiley. That's what I said.
Well, if she's not awake, will it show her?
If she's not awake, I actually don't know. It probably won't.
Should probably take my mask off. I'll go check. No. Logan's here. I think this just shows people who are awake. There are more than 4 lifers, right?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, there are only 4 lifers on this list right now.
Okay, well, then she's either out or she's asleep.
Ugh.
I also don't know who exactly she's talking to. I think Pixie was a person, but...
Oh, so she also gets Pixie. You know, Chatterbox told me he was gonna get Pixie to contact me.
Oh.
So I could get my therapy, even though I'm like... I think people think that therapists have some sort of magic wand against brainwashing. Because I need help with my OCD and my nightmares and my sleep stuff. Like I don't need someone to pick at my brain trying to fix my brainwashing, because I know that, well, the only way for it to be fixed is to, it's like you know those old VHS tapes that go into VCRs? Yes. The only way to get rid of something on those tapes is to tape over it.
And you want to know the thing that they should be treating for Ember is her guilt over the Joanna shit. Or, you know, actually, it's not even just that, but like she's you know, just everything else.
I think they should be treating the Ember versus Charlie thing.
That too.
I mean,
there's
everyone...
like a way to explain this stuff to the people seeing her. That would be great, but you know, they're probably not going to take our word.
No, I'm gonna think about something really hard for just a couple minutes.
All right.
Do you think Eliza will ever talk to me again?
I mean, That depends on if she can get this whole new Babylon shit out of her system. I think that she has become I think she's becoming more and more embroiled in that.
She was talking to me before.
Yeah. I mean, have you reached out to her today?
I texted. I haven't called. Maybe I should try calling. I don't know.
I mean, hey, you know, you could give it a shot. I was thinking of calling her myself, but considering you've already seemed to have spoken to her regarding the whole, like, I don't want to see you in person thing, so...
Well, she doesn't have to know that you know about that.
Never had the opportunity to tell her because she didn't pick up my calls, so, you know. So lucky you that your dad wasn't, you know, fighting for your honor or whatever.
Yeah.
Listen, I do care when people, you know, regardless of, you know, violence or whatever, sometimes I'm just like, you know, can I speak to your manager? You know, I don't know.
You know, when I was growing up, you know, I had the few bullies that I found out later why they were bullies. I never told my dad about that. And granted, I wasn't feeling like super bad about it because, you know, I wasn't feeling those emotions, but I never told him about it because I knew I could trigger him. If he thought I was upset about something, he wouldn't even be able to control it. So, it feels weird having someone stick up for me. And in this city, it feels weird having someone even talk good about me. Because people just don't.
Yeah, well, somebody has to fucking talk good about somebody at some point in their miserable life. Life. That's the right word, life.
Yeah. Jerry wouldn't stop talking about my grandma and what a great woman she was, and how my grandpa was also a great man, and it was a shame that he died, and it's too bad they never found out who killed him. And they were just great people. Jerry had never been brainwashed. He was indoctrinated, but he wasn't brainwashed. Eliza and I have talked a little bit about how brainwashing and indoctrination are pretty much the same thing. Only one's a lot slower. Indoctrination is a lot slower and a lot less painful. And,
I've basically noticed at this stage that that's basically what has happened to Ursula. She's kind of, it seems like a mixture of the two.
Yeah. Well, lullaby doesn't really hurt them.
But he has taken his time. It's a lifetime basically there of indoctrination.
For some of them, it can happen a lot faster. And it depends on how you get to them and what you say to them. And he has that advantage of working with them in their sleep, you know. That's a good way. If you think you're dreaming something, then it's from you. It's from within. It's not from without. I mean, my grandma did brainwash me, but that's why she had problems with it, because I could tell what was coming from outside of me. It was the stuff I couldn't control in my dream. You know?
Mhm.
And
I mean, here's the thing also is that he probably didn't see her do. I imagine most of the people who followed your grandma and I guess by extension your grandpa never saw them do, things that would be considered immoral.
sure they did. They saw
Well,
it.
how do you define
If it
immoral, I
wasn't,
guess?
yeah, it wasn't happening to them. The indoctrination changed what morality was for them. You know,
Hmm.
you can tell
Well, I wasn't
someone,
sure if she
"Hey,
was
I'm doing this
open.
thing that out in the outside world would be completely immoral, but I'm doing it here for these very moral reasons, these godly reasons.
Hmm.
So it's okay when we do it because we have the right motivations and the right intent, right?
Hmm.
We are doing it to make you a better person."
Hmm.
That's kind of what you do too, Ken.
I
When you
mean,
punish,
I
you're
cannot make a
doing it.
comment one way or the other.
Well, it's uh, the only difference is that you've hurt a lot of bad people and some good people in a place full of bad people, so they can see what you're doing a little clearer than like the people in Iowa could see what my grandma was doing, my grandpa. You know, mm, the first stages of when you join a cult, you don't realize you're in a cult. You just think it's a community, you know? And then eventually you hear other people call it a cult. You're like, oh, that's not my experience of it. It's just a nice community. I don't know what you're talking about. And by the time you recognize it as a cult, you believe in it. It's it's how things should be. And people calling it a cult just means they're jealous. You know? They're jealous because they're not enlightened. They haven't seen the light yet.
Yeah.
Uh, and So Jerry had nothing but good things to say about my grandma. Well, I just kind of nodded along because I needed him to do that work, you know? But nobody says those things about me. Not here. You remember when I got here and I told you how popular I was in my
Yes.
hometown? It's not popularity if it's just because they're all afraid of you and what you might do to their loved ones.
Well, I think it's kind of popularity.
Especially if they know that you don't know you've done it. You don't know you're doing it. Nobody could tell me. Nobody could tell me what I did because I didn't have the memories of it, and they knew I didn't have the memories of it. They knew it was all in my grandma's hands, so. But most of the time, like, the people who saw the little monster I could have been, they weren't talking anyway afterwards. They weren't telling people it was me. You know, Marcus knew because sometimes my grandma didn't quite scrub the memory completely right away. And I would be upset. And when I was upset, I'd talk to Marcus. And then she'd scrub my memory. But he'd still remember. He'd try to talk to me about it. And I'd be like, what the hell are you talking about? Lolly's calling me.
She might ask you about mushrooms.
I know I talked to her about mushrooms. I don't think I'm going to answer right now. I'll
She'll
call her
call
back.
me then.
She only let it ring 3 times.
I had a interesting hang with Lolly the other evening. It was something.
Yeah. She texted me about mushrooms, and I showed her the map location where I just happened to find them. It's not. I wasn't searching for them. I just found them.
Hmm.
And I went back there, and they weren't there. So I think you just have to keep looking in that area. What was an interesting hang?
I mean, we had already planned to hang out, because there was a carnival the other night. The night that Ember, I guess, went on the hold, naturally after Ian and I had already left. Um, Lolly was about, and we just kind of were like, she already wanted to hang out that day, but I was basically just saying like, oh well, ha ha ha, I can't go to the carnival. I'm doing some stuff right now, but maybe you could go to the carnival for a little bit, have some fun, then after that's done, then we can meet up. I was secretly at the carnival, but I wasn't, myself.
Who were you?
I was, I was a cowboy.
You were a
Yeah,
cowboy.
I was a cowboy.
All right.
But uh, what was it? At any rate, we planned to meet the next day. We did meet the next day, but only after like she was wishy-washy about actually hanging out with me like we had initially agreed upon. I told her basically, hey, I don't have to do any rain checks or anything like that, which is, something that it happens often with Lolly, is that people often will either give her the excuse of a rain check, or they, literally have to put a rain check in because they're, doing
Yeah.
whatever the fuck they're doing, including myself, which I feel bad about.
That's why she's
And I,
wishy-washy. She thinks people
right,
don't want to hang out with her, so she gives
right.
them
But
an
I
out.
actually did want to hang out with her,
No.
and she seemed thrilled, but then suddenly her mood shifted and she was just like, I don't remember exactly what happened, but then she was just like, oh well, I'm hanging up on you now. And I'm like, okay, that was weird. And she hung up on me, and then she made a post on Twitter that was kind of strange. She's always making weird posts on Twitter. That's just kind of who she is. But it was just very strange. After she had just hung up on me, I texted her saying, hey, are you okay, you all right? Eventually she called back and said that she was fine. She was okay. And then she went on to tell me that, she wasn't sure if she wanted to hang out with me that day because of the stigma around me,
Yeah.
because when
Because
people
you're a
hang
bad
out with
man.
me, right, when people hang out around me, it creates a certain idea, and it obviously, we've seen the evidence through Ember. Um, and she wasn't sure, and I told her basically, hey, you do what you do you, boo boo. And if you want to cancel, you can cancel. If you want to uncancel, you give me a call. I'm right here. And she tentatively she'd canceled, and I'm just like, whatever, okay, that's fine. I'll just I'll go fuck off or something. Then she calls me back, and she's like, you know what? I want to hang out after all. I want to uncancel. So it was already an adventure before we had even gone on the adventure.
Hmm.
Um, but we eventually finally do hang out, and we're kind of near the court center. We go on the path there on the Pacific Bluffs, because I haven't really been out there. Like, we haven't really explored that area that much. Like, obviously we've been on the hill, but I haven't exactly gone through that the Pacific Bluffs pathway, which is, I don't know, it was kind of interesting. I actually kind of enjoyed it. But we were just kind of walking along, and she was taking photos and things like that. Like, she was trying to prepare for like some type of a I don't know, a scavenger hunt, but with like photographs. And she wasn't sure if she wanted to do it in the city or up north. And I basically told her, you should do it, down the city, because I feel like scavenger hunts don't happen that often in the city when compared to the north. Um, at any rate, though, she asked me a very interesting question. And she said that if something were to happen to Ian, would you be upset? And I'm just like, that's a very specific question that you're asking me right now. And then she said, "Oh, if I made him like cry or something, would you be upset about it?" And I'm just like, I might be a little bit kind of upset about that if you made him cry, but hey, he's a grown man. He can probably take a little cry. He cries all the time. I feel like that's kind of, he gets up. I feel like he does get kind of emotional at times.
Yeah.
He's Ian. Ian is Ian. Uh, but like. It was just interesting that she would ask me that, because in that moment it gave me kind of reason to just murder her right then and there. Just her asking me that question. Um, I don't know if she would have expected me to do something, or if she legitimately didn't know that that's something that I thought about doing. With her asking me that type of question, because she wouldn't ask me that question if there wasn't a reason for it. And she
Yeah.
seemed to imply that there was maybe somebody who wanted to do that, who maybe wanted to hurt Ian. She didn't give
There are
names or
probably a lot of people who want to hurt
well,
Ian.
right, but it's interesting because Ian specifically, like, sure, Ian's out there, but Ian's not that out there. I think of the three of us or of the four of us, I feel like Ian is the most under the radar.
Mm,
Um, so that was kind of interesting to me. And also, I was also confused because she and Ian have known each other much longer than I think even I have known her. So, like, their relationship goes back years and years and years. Um, so I just thought it was a weird question for her to be asking. Um, Ultimately, like, I basically texted Ian and said, "Hey, maybe you want to stay away from Lolly for a little bit." Um, But I mean, at the end of our hike, which was still a nice hike, overall, and I had asked her some other questions. She had asked me some questions. I asked her how many people she's killed. She was being mostly forthright, I think, about that. She was only like a couple people, I guess, according to her. Um, but for reasons that were like, I don't know, defense purposes, I want to say.
yeah, she
Um,
doesn't seem like a terribly violent person. So
Right, though she did have a gun. Like, I asked her actually also if she was gonna kill me, like, while we were out there, and I was just like, "Well, what?" She was like, "Well, what would make you want to think that?" And I'm just like, "Well, I don't know. Maybe because you asked me if something happened to Ian, would you be upset?" Literally talking to the guy who leads Ian. So I mean, excuse me for having questions about your intentions toward me in this moment as we're both together in the middle of nowhere.
yeah,
Um, at any rate, though, yeah, I mean, I didn't actually think she was going to do anything to me. I sure thought about doing something to her, that's for sure, but I didn't want to. I really didn't want to because I like Lolly. At the end of
she
it, she
confuses
basically
the hell
said
out
that
of me, but I like her too.
yeah, yeah. At the end of our hike, though, at the end of all of it, like we took a lot of different pictures. We took a lot of interesting pictures, which I thought was kind of neat. Uh, she basically, I told her like, hey, all right, so are you planning on hurting Ian? And she's basically said, um, nah, she doesn't think she's going to, because of some reason. I don't quite remember what she said, but I think that she may have been asking me just to have me kind of put doubt in her mind to where she wouldn't do it. Maybe
Huh.
that might have been what it was. Like, maybe she wanted me to tell her to essentially, hey, maybe don't do that,
Don't touch
because
Ian.
maybe she was going to do that, but since she's talked to me first, it may have put her more at ease, in not wanting to do that.
If
Because
you,
I do want to clarify that she has more than one boss. So,
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. If you ask her who gave her orders,
but I don't even really fully know if she was given an order. But I mean, she implied that somebody was upset with Ian. She didn't go into specifics, and I don't know if that it could be a boss. It might not be a boss, but anyway, continue.
I got a text that I got a missed call from her. From like yeah.
You did miss her call.
I did miss her call, but it was several
Son of a
minutes
bitch.
ago. So
You know, sometimes, you know, hey, it doesn't always go through. Some reception is bad, you know.
I talked to her, and I was kind of trying to tell her what my status is, because I know she knows a bit about my past, you know. So I was just kind of trying to tell her, you know, what I said before when we first met with Ian and Ken over by that the pig cafe. That was kind of a lie. I didn't know it was a lie at the time, but I want to make sure I didn't lie to you by correcting it. And that's about all I said, because I couldn't say any more than that. And we did the whole dance around her past and now around my past, because I just don't really talk about that to people now. Well, I'm trying not to. Trying not to trauma dump on people. And what's funny about it is, for the past month or so, it doesn't even feel like trauma. When I'm talking about my past, it doesn't. Now that I have all those memories back and stuff, I can see how they were traumatic at the time, but like,
I mean, it's another life. It's a different life. It's not you.
I don't feel any particular way about it anymore. So it sounds like I'm trauma dumping when I'm not really. You know, kind of like even all the stuff I went through with Tessa. That wasn't that long ago, and it just kind of like, it feels like I was someone different. I was just learning myself. I was like a baby, you know?
Yeah.
And,
you know, when I look back at my memories, the memories of my childhood and all that, I don't even really see that as me. Like, it doesn't feel like me. Like, it feels like a completely different person.
Some show you watched on TV that you just kind of have some vague memories of, and you're sure that you could probably remember in more detail if you just went and watched an episode of the show again, but for the most part, it's just kind of there. I miss my dad, and I miss Marcus, and I even miss Tommy a little bit, but those are, I mean, that's it. I guess those are the people that I would have loved.
I guess in a lot of ways it's worse for you than myself, because you know, I knew very definitively that my family didn't want me. So, you know, I went to the most deplorable people in the world, you know, and obviously those people weren't raising me. They were, you know, using me, which
They
was the
wanted
whole
you, but because you were a
point.
tool, which,
I mean, yeah, I was I was a tool, and that's all I was. I knew from the
to be
jump that I
fair,
was a tool, you know, like it wasn't like a, you know,
yeah,
like it was a pretty definitive end, though, I guess, when it came down to my birth family versus my, you know, my quote unquote adopted family. So, you know, in a way, you know, it's worse for you because, you know, that
my
was your
family both
birth
wanted me
family.
and I was a tool.
Yeah.
Which makes me sound like I was just a horrible person. I was a tool. I was a tool for them to use. I don't know. I think I'm kind of holding tight to that memory of the week with my mom. and trying not to think too much about how it ended. You know.
If you have all these, if you still have communication with some of the old folks who were part of the cult, do they have a line to your mother?
I know where my mother is.
You do?
Yeah.
Hmm.
She's in an asylum. I think Minnesota.
In
But
Minnesota.
yeah,
So she's not even here.
no. She I mean, she was made to go crazy in Iowa. And I guess some of her family, once they found out where she was and found out that um, the hospital she was originally at was controlled by members of my grandma's cult, so she probably wasn't getting the best care. They power of attorneyed it and got her up in a place in Minnesota with no ties.
Would
I
I
don't.
be able to power of attorney Ember?
I think you have to have that legally set up before they need it.
Hmm.
My mom was smart. She was coming to kidnap her kid, and she was making it pretty obvious by visiting the people who had her kid, like being open about being there. And these are people who had killed her friends before, some of her family. She she wasn't as stupid as she thought she was.
Hmm.
She knew she was taking a risk. So, you know, she had everything set up before she visited. People knew where she was. When she stopped checking in, people looked for her. But yeah, I know where she is. I just, I don't know if seeing me would make things better or worse for her, so I'm just kind of staying away.
Well, I mean, do you
And
know her
I don't know if
actual state?
she's not good. She's a
Like, is
permanent.
she aware of her surroundings?
She was nearly killed by the love of her life while her child watched.
Yeah.
And she probably already had some issues before that. So she was pretty violent in the asylum in Iowa. They had her strapped down a lot, but that could have just been because she knew who controlled it, you know? So, and that also could have been a lie. She could have been as calm as, a sleeping cat or something, and they just wanted to torture her a little more by strapping her down. I don't know. But she's a permanent resident in that asylum in Minnesota, so you don't become a permanent resident of an asylum if nothing's wrong, or if you're in a good state, you know?
Right. I mean, I guess, considering you do know where she is, my advice would be maybe, just maybe, you should consider at the very least one visit.
I just don't, listen, I use how she might react to seeing me as an excuse. I don't know how I feel seeing her again. The last time I saw her, I'm not supposed to be able to remember. I'm not supposed to be able to remember that whole week. But especially not that last day. That show wasn't for me. That was for my dad.
Yeah.
And that was for my mom.
Like, I guess all I can really say is that, you know, if I had the opportunity, like, and I have looked, but if I did find my parents, you know, I would want to, you know, I don't know, see how they were, at least.
Yeah.
Because I know they're alive, or at least the last I heard they were alive.
The other issue is, what if I go to that asylum in Minnesota and she's not even there anymore?
Well, then I guess you'll find out what happened.
Or
I
she's
guess they'll
already
tell you where
dead?
she is.
Or,
You know, they'll tell you that she either moved on to another location or she's no longer alive.
yeah, it's just,
Or maybe she was taken out.
it kind of scares me, you know? I wasn't scared of finding her back when I didn't remember any of that. I was curious about the woman I'd never known, you know? And then Greg sent that letter he found, and then I was just angry about this woman who abandoned my father for something he couldn't control. And abandoned her kid for something that they couldn't control. How does she know if I'm dumb or not? I was only 1 year old, you know? Then, now it's just like, what if she made this huge sacrifice for me to come get me, and I meet her and I'm the disappointment? I mean, I still hang out with a psychopath who controls me. Just a different psychopath. Less folksy. Kinder, but less folksy.
I mean, I guess I'll probably tell you to your face that I'm going to kill you. I don't know. I mean, I presumptively. I mean, I guess I can't really speak for, you know, your grandmother. I don't know if she would, you know.
Oh, some people knew.
Speak in allegory as opposed to like just outright saying, you know, what her intentions were.
Two of the people she had me torture, once they gave her the answer that she was looking for, she had me continue to torture them, all the while them knowing that it was going to end with my dad coming in and taking them out. I was trained not to let people die. I guess that's one saving grace of what she did to me, is that kind of, I know what it looks like. I know when to stop or change tactics. you know? And you saw it was sooty. I pay a lot of attention. It's like ultra focus. It's like the world around me melts. I can only see exactly what I'm doing and exactly how it's affecting the person. And it doesn't even feel like hurting them until after I'm done, until after I snap out of it. And then I'm just felt with regret and nightmares. Regret and nightmares. And then I can't sleep. And the nightmares come out during the day in my hallucinations. But at least I know I didn't kill him. You know? You gotta say something. Maybe that's me. Maybe you are saying something and I just can't hear you. Alright, can you hear me?
Hello, hello, hello.
Hi, I can hear you now.
Okay. All
How
right.
much of my conversation with
Well,
you is story?
I
did you
heard
not
most of what
hear?
you said. I
Okay.
just didn't. You ended on but.
Oh. But I don't. That doesn't tell me anything.
It wasn't that long ago. It wasn't that long ago. It was only about like I don't know, like I almost interrupted you, and that's why when you said but and I said something at the same time.
Huh. What was I saying? Aside from but. But doesn't tell me anything about where I was.
It was Oh man, I'm terrible at rewinding.
Was I talking about the nightmares and hallucinations?
Yeah, nightmares, hallucinations,
But at
and
least I knew I
how
didn't
the
kill
guilt,
them.
how you didn't realize what the torture was until after you'd done it,
Yeah.
and then you felt regret after that.
I think, and then I just couldn't sleep, and I'd have nightmares, and then when I couldn't sleep, they'd turn into hallucinations happening during the day. But at least I knew I didn't kill them. Maybe that was the but.
Hmm.
And then I couldn't hear anything, and I was like, "Please say something."
I was saying something, or I was getting ready to say something, but I was basically gonna say like I it's hard for me to comment on those feelings because it's just
Because you don't have them.
I don't really when you've just done it so many times, you just sort of don't think about it that much
Did the
anymore.
people? Did the people? When you were growing up and killing people, were they criminals?
A lot of them were. Okay,
So
so when
maybe
I was
that's
set, I mean, yeah, sure. When I was set to kill a lot of people for the snuff films, they were usually death row inmates. Usually, whether or not they were there unjustly or not, it didn't matter. So I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that they were all, like
like,
deserved to be there. A lot of them did. A good chunk of them did.
yeah,
Not all of them.
at least you could tell yourself that at least you could tell yourself that they were bad people.
But I mean, to try and redeem myself or try and make myself look like a better person, I'm not gonna allow that because the reality is it didn't matter to me whether they were a good person or not a good person.
Why do you think that is? Why does it matter to you? Or why didn't it matter to you and it did matter to me?
Because people just interpret things differently. Everybody has a different way of looking at things and reacting to things and receptive things. It's all like obviously I mean, you didn't kill people growing up, you tortured people,
Oh.
but you didn't kill people from like the jump. You didn't
And I
kill people
wasn't
and you
allowed to
didn't
even remember torturing them.
right. And also that was erased from your mind. So it's just like you had no real I think you didn't feel any of it because at the time there was no you couldn't feel it because you the memory was gone before you even knew it.
Huh.
Um like with me, I was aware of everything 100% of the time. So, I kind of had my time to figure it all out and to get through my issues if I had any issues at all. And I did kind of maybe at the start. I think it felt kind of weird. I think it felt different for me. Like one of my old therapists would tell you that she thinks I was always like this even before Dark Woods. But like um I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I felt like it was normal, I guess, to kill somebody for the first time.
Did you maybe fall off a swing and hit your head
I,
when you were little? Isn't that how a lot of serial killers start? Like
I mean,
they have head trauma when they're a child,
a lot of serial killers start by you know,
hurting animals.
killing animals and stuff.
But
But I
yeah,
never killed animals.
I feel like a lot of them start just. I mean, they're kind of weird kids, but then they have a head trauma of some sort, and then they start killing animals.
I'll tell you why. And this isn't a slight against rich people or business CEOs, but I was probably going to be groomed to be the next head of the Jesperson Textile Company.
Yeah, and
And
you
what do
can't.
CEOs traditionally do? Are they
Well,
usually people that are
you can't.
nice people?
No, you can't care about people if you care about money.
Yeah.
Like if you care about making the most money, you've got to you got to walk
Yeah.
all over people to
So
do
if
that.
I wasn't killing people with a knife, I'd probably be killing people in the boardroom.
Oh,
I would probably be basically ruining people's lives in other ways.
yeah.
I guess that's a lot of where my psychological shit comes from. You know,
If
I like to psychologically torment people.
if you were back in the prison today and you were told I was the next person for a snuff film, would you do it?
Well, the thing is there with that question in mind, you're sort of discounting the experiences I've had on the outside.
No, I'm not. That's it's just
Because my experiences on the outside have certainly changed me in a lot of ways. I mean, if you were the next victim, and okay, so are you saying then I've always been in the prison, or I was out of the prison, but then I had to go back?
well, probably out of the prison then went back cuz I'm gauging how you've changed right now because if you'd always been in the prison and you knew me that means I would have been in the prison. Like, I feel like it would have been way different. Like, our
I,
relationship would be way different.
I don't know if it's even possible for me to like. I know this is an example. This is a theoretical. This is a hypothetical scenario you're presenting to me. But it's difficult for me to think of myself as back in that position again in the prison
If you felt
because
like, if you felt like killing me would make your life better, would you kill me? Or would you let your life be a little bit worse and so I'm
see, it's
alive?
hard for me to answer that because I don't really know in what way you would make my life bad. You know,
Well, you talk all about people betraying you and such. So, like, maybe I made a little betrayal. Like, not a big betrayal, but a little one. Your
I
life could be a
mean,
little bit. Your life could be a little bit better if I wasn't alive doing something that maybe I didn't even think of as betrayal, but you did. You know?
well, you've seen me. I haven't killed anybody for their little betrayals thus far,
No.
have I? Other than maybe occasionally getting a little physical.
I feel like you're trying to avoid the question
Well,
a little
okay,
bit.
okay. You want me to answer the question?
So,
Like, would I kill you if there was a reason for me to kill you?
yes.
If there was a reason for me to kill you, I feel like I've been pretty open about that. So, if there was a reason for me to kill you, then yes, I would likely kill you.
What, what,
Well, for instance, I already told you when that whole suggestion thing happened, I probably would
yeah.
have killed you at that time.
No, that was Mr. Smiley, though. You were upset, and so you were hiding behind your mask. Kind of like I hide behind Bertha when I'm panicking because I saw Joanna alone in a clothing store, and last time I saw
Hmm.
her alone, she stabbed me twice. So
Yeah.
I put on Bertha. But, like, if it was just you, and maybe you weren't upset enough to act on just emotion alone, you know? Kind of, I mean, I guess you had you had the same reason to kill me when Charlie broke my finger. You had the same reason to kill me.
Hmm.
But it was far enough removed from the situation that you didn't kill me. So, like,
Because I
what
guess it would
makes
be an
the
emotional
difference?
response. The difference is the emotion, I think, as you
Okay.
kind of put it.
So say you have
I
say
could
it's
have
just
killed
a
Ian.
logical reason to kill me.
I really wanted to kill Ian very, very recently, but I didn't do it. I mean,
When you have a problem with people and it makes you emotional, I'm trying to figure out why the first impulse is kill him. When I was feeling a lot of rage toward Joanna, it it wasn't my impulse to kill her. It was just my impulse not to care if she was hurt or dead, you know? And then I
mhm.
regretted that. I regretted that feeling. Just the feeling of apathy toward her life, you know?
If you want to know if I were to kill you, would I feel bad about it? Yes.
I guess that's kind of what I'm asking.
I would feel bad about it actually, because I've had that experience before with two people other than the woman that I told you about. One of them was Regina Bunny, the other was Tessa. Regina Bunny, I felt guilty because I was kind of a friend of hers. Not, we weren't that close at that point, but I felt bad because she got put into a situation in which I had to take her out. I felt bad about it. Eventually, she reached out to me and we reconnected. And this is with the knowledge that she knew that I was the one who attacked her. Um, and our relationship changed entirely to the point where eventually she saw me as like her son. So it was kind of a that's how that relationship went. My guilt essentially made it to where her and I got even closer.
Huh.
Now, obviously, she survived her attack. If she hadn't survived her attack, then I guess, I probably would have felt guilty. I probably would have felt guilty, actually. I probably would have felt even more guilty than I had already felt even after she had survived. So, yes, I think I would feel bad about it.
When my grandma was on her deathbed, she asked me if I was going to miss her. And I told her no, I would absolutely not miss her. I couldn't wait until she was dead. And that's without even having all those memories of her. I just knew, not having the memories of her, like, making me do things, But I just knew that she's the reason I had sleep issues, and she never gave me affection. She was bad to my dad, and she made my dad kill people. I'd figured it out by that time. And, I was happy she was dying. She took that as a good thing, that I was happy she was dying, and she told me, you know what, I'd be sad if you died, but only because I sunk so many hours into you. I'd have to start all over with someone else. She would have cared about the wasted time, not about the wasted life.
Mm-hmm. Is your next question going to be whether or not I feel something similar?
Yeah, is it just the time you've invested, or is it actually caring about the person?
I mean, time invested is certainly a factor, but the thing about me is that I'm always genuine with how I feel. It's better to tell the truth than to tell a lie. In my opinion. I mean, I guess sometimes you stretch the truth a little bit or you twist the truth a little bit.
Or you don't say the exact words.
Sure. But the best way to, talk to people, in my opinion, is if you believe what you're saying, if you actually actively believe what you're saying, and if you actually feel that way about the person in question who's with you. Like, I wouldn't spend as much time with you, talking with you, having these types of conversations with you if I didn't enjoy these conversations, if I didn't find you to be an intriguing individual, if I didn't find you to be somebody that I do care about, genuinely. Um Obviously, there's a lot of people out there who, like to talk with me, but a lot of them, they they don't talk as much as you. So,
Yeah.
it's
I don't
but
know if
yet,
you would have liked me 2 years ago.
well, 2 years ago, I don't know, would you have been a drone basically just going about the place?
Oh, pretty much. I mean, it wasn't like my grandma was controlling me anymore, except through old brainwashing. I was just, I guess, in survival mode, just working, taking care of my father, and trying not to let either of us kill each other. I don't know. I know he had love for me, and that's why he had the problems he had. That last year was tough. It was just I had more interactions with the robot in him, and the only way I could respond was as a robot. We were two machines who were trying to live off the same electricity, and the circuit kept blowing the fuse. This analogy's kind of falling apart, but
I think I get what you're saying.
it was like one of those loops, the electricity loops, you know? And we just kept having to repair him. And he kept cutting the wire, and I kept having to repair it. Till he asked me to cut the wire, and then I guess I did because I didn't have a choice, you know? So like, I appreciate you and that you haven't told me to cut any wires for you. And I don't, I'm not naive enough to think you never will.
I mean, that depends, I guess, on the wire.
Ken, I will resent you. And I don't want to. I will resent you if you make me do it. Because, like, before, I have a lot of regret about what we did in the shack. Like, I regret it. But it was, in the end, my decision because I wasn't in pain. There's, like, a little bit of weird numbness where I guess my brain was working overtime trying to keep that pain from me, but that was my choice, and then I regretted it. But if it's not my choice, because I mean, in the end, it's always my choice. It's always my choice, Ken, because
Yes.
I can deny your order, but depending on how severe your order is, it will hurt me a great deal to deny it.
Here's a question, and you're probably not going to like this question. So I just want you to be prepared to keep this in the realm of hypothetical and theoretical.
All right.
If I were to order you, or were to give you maintenance, as it were, or as you put it, cut a wire for yourself, such as removing the guilt from your system, is that a possibility?
I don't think so.
Do you know that for sure? Because the thing that you sold me on when you first told me about this, before you make that point, the thing you sold me on was that I could technically create a new personality like a factory reset.
My grandma tried over and over and over again to remove the pacifism or the guilt. That's why I couldn't feel the difficult emotions, because that was her trying to remove that. She succeeded in doing it with my father until he fell in love, but he still didn't feel the guilt, except for when he did what he did to my mom. She could never get that out of me. That's why she was still working on it 14 years later. It is intrinsically me. It is who I am. I'm the kid who can't hurt the worm or the fish. I always bring that up because she always brought it up. It's something she hated about me. She brought me home from that fishing trip and she yelled at my dad. Like he could control how I felt.
I just want you to know that I asked that question purely out of just, making things easier for you.
I will say, though, Ken, if you ever did succeed, I don't think I'd be me anymore.
Well, yeah, you probably wouldn't, and you would probably kill me immediately.
It would be a betrayal.
Yeah. You wouldn't even feel guilty about it because you wouldn't be feeling guilty, so it would be kind of like a you get what you pay for.
I don't know if I would kill you right away.
Well, you'll probably...
If you program out the guilt, that's one thing. If you program out the love, if you program out both of those, then maybe I'd kill you right away.
Well, then I wouldn't program out the love.
Yeah, but if you program out the guilt, there's still a part of me that's going to resent you. Because like I said, it's intrinsically me, and that's why I was hospitalized, Get rid of that. My grandma didn't want to have to take away my memories. She wanted me to remember the power I had over people. She probably wanted me to take over for her. Hell, she was the torturer before she brainwashed me to be a torturer, because like her arthritis got to her or something. Like it hurt her to torture people suddenly. And I got these little hands that fit places that were intriguing to her.
Holy shit, was that thing there in front of us before?
What thing?
In front of us in the water.
The sailboat?
That big old barge.
I don't... Are you having hallucinations?
Do you not see it?
Over to the right.
Yes, there's like a big old fucking... Is that an oil rig?
Yeah. I was looking in front of us where there's like
to the right
speedboat, and then there's like a sailboat, but no, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention.
I wasn't either. I don't recall that being there when we first got here. Well, something's about to happen. Something about to go down.
I have so many hallucinations that usually if things just show up that weren't there before, I just figure they're hallucinations. So.
Oh, well, I mean, this is a shared delusion. What's it fully a do?
I maybe am not as observant of my surroundings as I should be because of the hallucinations. But, like right now, if I look around us, the trees are kind of acting weird to me.
Mm.
The trees around us are acting weird.
I
But
think they're just blowing for me. I just see them blowing.
it's just weird light, weird tricks of light, hallucinations probably. It's all right. Um, I I don't. You you told me at the golf course not to try to change you, and I'm not trying to change you. I'm just trying to figure, like, make sure I know who you are. You know?
Mm-hmm.
When I ask these questions, it's not me trying to get a specific answer out of you. It's me just trying to figure out where I stand with you.
Mm-hmm.
And trusting you enough that I can actually ask the question. Because I would not be able to ask most people these questions.
Right.
They'd automatically think I was up to something and ask me, you know, and probably put a gun to my head.
I think that's probably one reason why Lolly would fucking ask me about Ian and whether or not if something happened to him, I'd be upset because I feel like she knew that I would maybe get it.
Lolly, I think, has a lot in common with both of us. Maybe not the violent part.
I don't believe that she's not violent, but you
Well,
know,
I
maybe she
don't
just hasn't
necessarily
been violent
believe
in a
that
long
she's not.
time.
I don't necessarily believe that she doesn't have the capacity to be violent. I just feel like maybe she hasn't had to be a lot, you know? One of the things that makes me so confused about her is how what did she call herself? Off putting? Like,
Something like that.
well, that
I mean, she is off-putting, but
the,
you know, it's just most
yeah,
people probably don't have the patience for her. But you know, she's almost like she's testing,
she
the
is.
waters when it
It's
comes down to,
intentional.
yeah,
It's
like
intentional.
that whole thing I told you about how she called me 3 times before we eventually agreed to meet. That was her really just testing the waters.
Yeah, and she does that a lot. And then uh, she'll say something that's obviously a lie, usually about her past, and then she'll say something that seems less like a lie, but then she'll claim that it's a lie and go back to her original lie. You know,
Well,
like,
yeah,
but I don't know how much truth there is in any of it.
well, yeah.
If
She like has a different thought and a contrasting thought in the same sentence.
you know, I thought she was a robot when I first met her. Well, and that's not. I mean, not like a machine, because we first met and I was talking about breaking my programming and how I was a machine. She feels like a machine. And that's why I told you have to be very clear with your orders. There there can't be any problems with the code, as it
Yeah,
were,
that's why I
or you're
told her
going to
when
get bugs.
she called me about like being friends with the family. I said yes.
Yeah.
I definitively said yes at being friendly with the family. I didn't do like any sort of there wasn't any lollygagging, pardon the pun,
Yeah.
about it.
It's just really I spent a lot of time while I was growing up uh finding loopholes. So I
Oh
didn't have.
really?
Yeah, of course. So I didn't have to do things.
You doing loopholes. Oh my gosh.
Ah, weird, huh? Although,
Yeah.
truthfully, when I broke the programming with you, that was a larger sort of use of loopholes. You know, like those were loopholes that I knew would actually hurt who I am. They would hurt me. They weren't. It wasn't loopholes so much as it was disobedience. You know, loopholes are when you can follow the order, knowing what the end result is supposed to be, and technically following the order, but getting a different result because you intentionally did something that would technically still be following the order, but would get a different result. You know?
Yeah, like having 2 people in a photograph instead of 1. 2 days instead of 1 day.
Yeah.
Or 3 if you were lucky. That's what I meant when we were talking about loopholes there a little bit, you know.
Yeah, well, I was thinking about how I even got to tell you that had been brainwashed and had a hand with.
Yeah, of course. I mean, yeah, of course. It's much deeper than just photographs. I know that.
Those loopholes hurt me because I wasn't just using loopholes. I was disobeying, and I was finding the way to disobey the least amount while still getting through it. I wasn't technically talking about it first, even though I was still talking about it.
Yeah.
I think the reason I wouldn't normally care if back when I didn't feel, I wouldn't care about this whole Eliza not talking to me thing. And I felt kind of bad on, what was this, Sunday? When Ember wouldn't talk to me and Eliza wasn't talking to me, and I felt bad because one of the things that made me angry is how much time I've invested in both of them. And then that made me feel worse because then I felt like my grandma.
As I was about to say, that we go back to that whole comment about time investment.
But
like
my
that.
grandma would not have cried over her time investment being lost. She would have just been angry. So I know a lot of it has to do with, you know, the affection I feel and the affection I felt from them. And truthfully, Ember thing was just a straw that broke my back, me being the camel, because I'm still not quite sure she actually has affection for me, or if it's just, you know, the brainwashing. Even before, it seemed like when she tried to show me affection, it was just kind of her feeling out the situation, you know? Playing nice. But Eliza, she had no reason to even talk to me, and she talked to me. And she helped me with a lot, and I feel like I helped her. It was a give and take, you know. With Ember, there's no give and take. It's just Ember kind of doing to me what I did to you, where I just like talked about all my problems and shit. And
I mean, I personally, with Ember, don't necessarily think that there's much of a give and take there, generally speaking. You know, she's more of a give me person.
yeah,
If that makes any sense. Like, there's not really a take. It's just a giver. You know, you just give her something, and that's that. She's not exactly. I don't.
I think she gives. She
I don't
gives
know
something.
if she gives a deep. Like, you're not gonna have a meaningful conversation with her on this level. I don't think.
No. No, she's not that type of person. But, she gives what she can. I mean, there are different kinds of love language. She likes to spend time with people. Not so
does.
much maybe have deep conversations, but just like quality time.
Yeah.
That's,
you know, her and I
that's
were
why,
just chilling at the beach, or not the beach, but at the hole.
Yeah, that's why she's having so many problems not being able to spend time with the people that she has loved since before she knew you. You know?
Yeah.
And whether or not we think that means that they ever loved her, because I've given up on people before who just stepped over the line a few too many times, you know? But I didn't love them, but I could have. It's really hard to it's really hard for me now as I'm just learning these emotions to understand why people would ever pretend at them, you know?
Yeah.
Why would you pretend to love someone? I don't understand.
Mm-hmm.
So they have to have, at least some of them have to have loved her in some way and given up, you know, been burned too many times or something. But I guess there's sometimes when just because you love someone doesn't mean you should hang around them. But
I mean, yeah, I guess it's kind of like a divorce, you know, like, hey, you know, we can't stand each other, but we still love each other.
yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what point I was trying to make. I just started talking, you know.
Yeah, well, you know, that's what you do. You start talking.
I I don't even know if she's intentionally trying not to talk to me at all. She just doesn't want to be alone with me in person, right? For Eliza. But all this has done is made me wonder what the hell that is anyway. Because right now I'm not really talking to Signy much either. Oh. Because of a talk that she and I had. I feel like I kind of lost. I lost all my friends. by really not doing anything. I lost all my friends by leaving the smileys and getting myself fixed. I guess also kind of broken again.
It is kind of interesting how that works out. You know, you do the thing that people would want you to do, and then they are like, why did you do that thing? And then, you know, you're like, well, I thought that that's what you wanted me to do. I thought you wanted me to do that thing. No, I wanted you to do that thing a different way. Oh,
I
okay.
wanted you to do
Well,
that thing with different results.
yeah.
Uh,
I think that there's a point where sometimes it's just like it doesn't matter, you know, whether you do the thing or you don't do the thing. You know, the decision was made already. You know, they already have decided what you are. Ursula, she attempted to make amends with the clowns after she fucked up. She fucked up majorly. One of the reasons why they hate me so much is because of Ursula. Like Ursula majorly fucked up. Um, However, I mean, again, the clowns are the clowns. The clowns like to just be like about everything, and you know they hold on to their forever grudges. Um, but she had a pathway to redemption with the clowns. She had it. Like there was like this whole thing called recl- reclowngication, um, and some other bullshit, some clownsel bullshit. I don't know, some weird shit about clowns. At, at any rate, she went to go and get reclowngicated. She also went and ensured that she would never be able to lie to a clown again. She came back with her book, which was, I don't know, this book that had something in it that she needed to give to Kirk as proof of her penance. She did that. She tried her hardest to reach out to Chatterbox. And this is from her perspective, not from anybody else's perspective, but you know, I imagine that she's probably more right than Chatterbox in this particular instance because I've talked to the guy myself, and you know, it's hard to talk to that guy. But at any rate, uh, it's difficult getting a hold of Chatterbox. It's difficult trying to get him to see anything other than what's in front of his face in the moment. Um, she did everything that she needed to do to prove that she was better after she fucked up. But it didn't matter. She gave the book, they took the book, nothing ever came of it. She joins the Neon Circus. She's a weed. She's whatever the fuck that they decide that she is. And that's that. Like the decision was made. There was never any going back. And all of that work that she did, that she was told that she needed to do to prove herself, was irrelevant. It meant nothing because it was just, it was always going to be nothing. It was always going to be nothing
yeah.
because it was all part of the plan that they set in motion in regards to her. She was written off a long time ago. There was never any taking it back. And that's where it lies. And I see that that's one of the reasons why I hold on to my philosophy of no matter what I do, if I decide that I want to become a humanitarian or whatever tomorrow, and I don't know, feed a bunch of hungry kids somewhere, uh, somehow that will be turned into, well, he didn't feed them enough. So fuck him.
Uh,
So that's why I
they don't.
believe in the idea that If you want this out of me, that's what I am. So accept it, motherfucker.
Oh,
Does that make any sense to you at all?
sorta. Not. I mean, I don't.
It's just you
I
can't
don't
make
really
people think
believe.
better of you.
No, I don't really believe you should try to make people think better of you. I think you should just try to make yourself.
Redemption's not possible.
You, you shouldn't. You shouldn't try to be a better person for other people. It should
I
be for
agree.
you.
You shouldn't. But you also, even if you're not trying to be a better person, you're just trying to get back in with the people that sent you
Yeah, well,
away because they gave you that pathway to coming
no,
back,
I
and then they
think.
say "fuck you."
No, I think that's it's one of the things that I said early on to Tessa. I think it's something that my dad tried to teach me, which is believe people when they tell you who they are. And I don't always do it. I I believe people when they show me who they are more than when they tell me who they are. But like I see you as someone who has shown a great deal of kindness to me. So that's who you are to me. But you're also who you tell me you are, which is not a kind person. A little bit of a, you know. I stopped reaching out to the clowns a long time ago. There for a while, I was giving them updates on my life and how I was doing because, you know, Tessa was having people watch me anyway, so I figured, here, let's make it easy for you. I'll just tell you what's happening. And, you know, in my fashion, I talked a lot, which is something that I kind of learned to do from torturing people and watching how they reacted. And the people who talk more were able to control the conversation a little bit better, you know, because people can't get a word in edgewise to ask you questions, you know. So you kind of control it, and by the time you're done talking, they've forgotten half their questions. You can control where it goes. But I was also really fucked up at the time, so I definitely gave them more information than they should have had. But Sneaky was my proxy for Tessa. I wasn't allowed to talk to her. I had to talk to him. And I updated him on things, and then it seemed like they didn't know. It seemed like if I gave her little warnings, which she would always take as threats or whatever, sometimes it didn't seem like she got those. Like he wasn't acting with a sense of urgency there. Mm-hmm. So then I would contact her again, which I wasn't supposed to be doing, but she was my handler. And it was already hurting a lot to not go back to her to get fixed, because I know she didn't want to see me at all, you know. And then eventually you helped me break that, and I just kind of stopped checking in with Sneaky because he wasn't you know, giving her the information anyway, it seemed. Or if he was, she wasn't acting on it. And then you went away, and I was figuring out how to leave because I knew something was wrong. And I got hit by Wendy's car. I went in and out of consciousness, and nobody found me. even though apparently they looked for me. And I went to the hospital. Had to take local EMS. The local who was just standing in the middle of the road, who I was trying to get out of the road, must have called for me, but I called Sneaky, and he said they looked for me, but then he didn't really care to get me back to my bike because he was in the middle of a night race, and I was really angry, and I don't really care now, though I still feel like they were, maybe a little irresponsible there. I could have got seriously hurt, even though I couldn't feel pain,
Yeah.
And then, later that night when I was angry, Chatterbox called me. I told him about the back door for Ember. That just needed her favorite song, and you needed to repeat things that made it seem like she was her own person and she didn't have to listen to Mr. Smiley. You just repeat that until she's getting upset again, and then go back to the song and rinse and repeat, and it'd probably take a few days, whatever. I don't think I gave him that many details about it, but I gave him enough because I didn't know her favorite song. So I told him, if you find her favorite song from when she was a kid for me, if you get that from her, I can, I can do it. But I knew I probably wouldn't be able to do it, because I already knew something was wrong, despite the fact that I still couldn't feel the pain. And, so, I let slip the steps or whatever. But, you'll notice when I asked her what her favorite childhood song was when we were at that fishing event, she didn't know right away. And then by the time we got to the river, she had remembered it. And that's when you patched that back door. It was still speaking in code,
Mm-hmm.
And that makes me think, in the weeks since I told him about it, he hasn't bothered to even try to ask her.
I mean,
And
you're
neither
expecting
did
too much
Stacy.
of Chatterbox.
Neither did Stacy.
Oh, Stacy.
They
I didn't know
both-
about Stacy. Chatterbox told me that he had spoken to you and Ian. I didn't know about Stacy.
Yeah, I told Stacy about that as well. Though I don't think she, based on the conversation we had, I don't think she quite understood. But
Nobody understands.
regardless, nobody asked her. And now it's too late for them to ask her, because she can't tell them now. She can't even tell Mr. Smiley now. Which is probably good. That was a good impulse you had, because what if she lets it slip to Mr. Smiley at some point?
Well, not that it would have mattered.
Well, if someone else is around or listening in, it would have mattered.
Yeah, I suppose.
It just kind of keeps it stuck there in her brain, But they didn't. I think Stacy's been trying to help, but how have the clowns helped? Chatterbox had that information, and instead Sneaky just shoots her in the
They
back.
helped by having Sneaky shoot her in the back, yes.
I know Sneaky.
And Ratchet did something
Listen,
apparently too.
I know Sneaky. They probably didn't have him do anything. He just did it.
Oh, sure.
Tessa didn't have him call me for a repair kit because I was on the lemon list, and even though I knew it had to have been a trap, I went. And then I gave them all the information that I knew that they wanted without them even having to ask. And I took them to the tow yard where my car was. And I opened the trunk that had a knife in it that had my state ID on it to give them blueprints that I had found that I didn't have any use for at the time. And then I gave Sneaky the keys to my car to go back to get his bike or whatever, and instead he took me to Tessa's treehouse and interrogated me for a few hours. I was sure they were going to kill me, and they didn't. But she didn't ask them to do all that. She just asked them to watch me, just like she asked Joshua to watch me. Keep an eye on this person that had the gall to climb into a treehouse in a public place. Who had the gall to want to be her friend through letters and just is kind of weird about it. I thought I was good at socialization until I realized that that was all just people being scared of me. Yeah.
Yep. That's how it be.
It's weird though because all that still feels like. I told you about all that soon after it happened because that's when you started calling me. But it still feels like some book I read or some show I watched. Like, my feelings about the clowns don't feel like they exist from any experience I've actually had with the clowns. Right now, I mostly care about how they're treating Ember. How they've treated me in the past or whatever, I don't really care, and I think that's because they never really betrayed me. I didn't have any... I wasn't under the impression that we were friends. Except for at the beginning with Tessa. But it became very evident that we were not friends. At some point. Yeah,
I mean, that's the,
I think that's why Eliza's bugging me, because she's felt like a friend since the beginning. And now I'm just one of her shadows, I guess. That she can't be around because maybe I'm dangerous. She didn't have the same feeling about me as I had about her. And, not even close to it. Because I don't really recognize the feeling that I have for her. It doesn't feel like Signy. Signy's a friend.
never presume that the other person feels the same way about you in regards to anything. Because that'll only lead to ruin and what you're kind of already feeling, which is emotion. Very, very strong emotions.
I have to be able to trust what people say about me. What people tell me they feel about me. What people show me that they feel about me. I have to be able to trust that. And sure, it makes it easier for me to be manipulated, but it also allows me to feel more different kinds of emotions. Makes me feel more human. Because if I just go presuming that nobody feels pleasantly about me, I might as well just be a machine again. You may as well just take all my emotions from me, Ken. Except that guilt that you won't be able to get rid of, and the pacifism that you won't be able to get rid of, but you know.
It's funny how I can get rid of all the emotions except for the pacifism and the guilt. What the hell?
There are probably a few more. But as far as the ones that you would care about, those are the two, I think.
I mean, the thing
Well,
about
rebelliousness.
But you know, that's the thing. You know, is that you don't know how a person really feels. Like, you can be super open with them, but the reality is they will eventually find themselves being like, I don't know if I can deal with this anymore. I don't know if this is something that I can handle.
I'm also bold. You won't take that away from me either.
Basically, you say, if you took away all my emotions, but actually you can't take away all my emotions. Never mind.
Yeah.
But I mean, it doesn't. I guess it doesn't always help to be, honest with people all the time about, who you are and what you're all about, because not everybody's gonna react the same way.
Yeah. Well, she's
Also,
definitely
who's
not
texting
answering
you?
my call. Not even to say she'll call back later.
Yeah, I think she's kind of in another world right now, literally, figuratively.
I hate New Babylon.
Yeah. I guess the only way you'll be able to talk to her, really, is if you go to fucking New Babylon, but,
You want me to
when I'm
join?
say go to New Babylon, I mean join New Babylon.
I don't know if they'd take me.
And I wouldn't really want you to go anyway, because then you would probably turn into her.
I don't think so. I'd still be beholden to you. They don't seem
Like,
to
this
be.
is something I knew would happen when she went there. I was just like, well,
I'm getting hungry again.
yeah, I bet you are. I'm also probably gonna head to sleep.
Yeah.
But
Maybe I should too. There's no real reason to be awake. Nobody'll talk to me, so except I guess Lolly.
well,
But
if Ember comes about, she might talk to you because I told her to. So
yeah, well, I don't know if I want to put myself out there again. Not yet.
well, I mean, take your time, I suppose. You just got back from digging a hole for like a fucking week, so I mean,
Yeah.
you have to give yourself time and patience, acclimatization. Maybe also give other people time too. I mean, sometimes distance is the best course of action when it comes down to relationships, because if you're always talking to each other all the time, you're gonna get tired of each other. So distance does work sometimes. To the point where, you know, if you were to say call someone like Eliza after a while, instead of feeling like you're clinging onto something or clinging onto her, then she'll be like, oh, shit, I haven't heard from him in a while. And then, you know, you can catch up, as it were.
It's been a week.
I mean, I'm not even necessarily talking about a week. Like, me and Eliza would talk to each other sometimes months apart.
Yeah, well, she's gonna probably die soon anyway.
Well, that's kind of her cross to bear, you know? I mean, there's not a whole lot you can do about that. I mean, unless you just go
No,
there
but,
and jump in front of the bombs or something.
No, it's just the... What, the last time I talked to her was her saying she didn't... The last time I talked to my dad, he was telling me to kill him. I just
Are
want...
you feeling something similar with her essentially shunning you?
I just feel like I don't like the last memories of people that I care about to be bad ones. You know, but you know the last memory I had of you before I left that letter for you?
What's that?
I told you I love you and you said you too, kid. Yeah, I mean you did it via text and you didn't say the words, kind of a loophole for it, but it was still some sort of affection. It was a good memory for me. Now you're just never going to want to have good memories with me because maybe that's when I decide to rebel and leave or something.
I mean, it is definitely a weird choice, you know. In that particular instance, I do think that was somewhat of an interesting choice you made, you know, after that. But, you know, I came back.
I couldn't sleep. It had been like 3 weeks since I slept. And so I thought maybe just separating myself from the group maybe that would help me sleep. It didn't, but maybe it would have, you know?
Yeah.
And then I got my pain back, so...
Yeah. And, you know, and here you are now, you know?
Yeah. Just as mopey as usual.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna go to bed, I think. Maybe I'll wake up a little later.
Make sure that you eat something, you know, when you can.
Is there...
A word of wisdom before bed?
Are there any changes you would like to make, Father?
Not at this time.
Okay. Love you.
You too.
Hi, Lolly. You caught me as I was about to head to bed.
Oh, I did. So no photography lessons.
No, I just had a long talk with Ken, and I just need to go to bed. I think I'm having some head problems today, like some headaches and stuff. And I think I just
Okay, then.
yeah, but I won't be around tomorrow. Probably, maybe I will. I probably won't. But will you be around on Thursday?
Probably not. Probably
Okay.
Friday.
Friday. Okay, Friday.
You know, we don't
will.
really have to schedule this. Just whenever you can.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna give you a call on Friday. That's
Okay,
what's gonna
then.
happen. All right.
Rest well then, I suppose.
Thank you. You have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye.